I told you guys I was gonna go live. I told you guys I was gonna go live. That's a glare. I don't like that. I told you guys I was gonna go live. And I meant to do this last week. But last week I was unexpectedly out of town. And so last weekend. And no, like it wasn't supposed to be unexpectedly out of town. I had put in the time off of work like 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks before I was meant to leave. And it didn't get approved until Wednesday. And I was supposed to leave on Friday. So I had to leave I had to make very last minute plans to like actually leave. Like I had like ideas of like I wanted to go. Like I really wanted to go. I went to two concerts. I saw two friends I haven't seen since the last time I was there. And it was just really exciting to be not at work. Like I love my job, but like it was really exciting to like go have fun, like go to concerts. And those will be my last concerts, unfortunately, until October at least. I wanted to see Jake Owen in Runner Park. I don't think I'll be able to make it. It's tomorrow. I have work on Monday. Um, I also kind of want to see Franklin Jonas, who's gonna be and the baby Jonas brother, who's gonna be who's gonna be in San Francisco this month. But like I have to start saving money. Like I can't be going to every concert I see that I want to go to. But like after having 5 months and no concerts, the itch to just like say get and go is real. And which is why I saw Ariana Grande and Naomi Scott within a week of each other. I saw Maren Morris exactly 1 month after I saw Naomi Scott, and then 2 weeks later I saw Lee Bryce and I saw Andy Grammer. So like my concert cup is full and filled, but that doesn't stop the urge to go to more concerts, especially when I have a whole list of concerts I want to go to. So the one I want to go, I'll tell you like very briefly, like the ones I want to go to still. Um, I want to go see Ashley Cook, who's gonna be in Sacramento on October 10th. It's a Saturday, so luckily I will not have to take off work. So like I might go to Sacramento for the night. I go see Ashley Cook. I go see one of my besties. And then Bruno Mars is also that same weekend. He would be either October 11th, which is a Sunday, or he would be October 12th, which is a Monday. But it's also the not only is it during the work week, it's also the same weekend as Ashley Cook. And I feel like Ashley Cook's more attainable because she's smaller, the venue's smaller, and it'll be easier access for me to get to Sacramento than it would be for me to get to Santa Clara, which is where Bruno Mars is going to be. And then after Bruno Mars, the last concert of the year that I have on the books that I want to go to is Olivia Rodrigo. I'm unsure if I want to go to Oakland the December 11th or 12th or Sacramento December 15th and 16th. If I go to Sacramento, I can go see my best friend one more time before the year's over. But that's also a little more out of reach than it would for me to go see Olivia in Oakland. And so I'm like really debating like what should I do? I don't have the days like what days those are in my calendar notes app section, but they're in December. I know that much. The Oakland days are a Friday and Saturday. I feel like the Saturday show might be more optionable for me. And then, oh, the Sacramento shows are a little. I'm so sorry, best friend. The Sacramento shows are literally the 15th and the 16th. So that means I'd have to request to work off for 2 days to go to the concert. I'm so sorry. I might just only see her in October then. Granted, we have seen each other 3 times this year already. So, like, if I see her in October, it'll be our fourth time seeing each other this year. So, like, it's not that much of like oh, I'm not going to see my best friend for a fifth time this year. I just don't want to be taking 2 days off of work. But yeah, those are like the concerts that like I feel like the most probable for me to go to like for the rest of the year is gonna be Ashley Cook and Olivia Rodrigo. But my concert total right now is at 6. And my concert total for 2023 was 9. So do I have plans to try to tie it? Do I have plans to try to beat it? I don't know if I could go. I feel like I might be able to tie it if I go to Ashley Cook, Bruno Mars, and Olivia Rodrigo, but I don't think I'll be able to beat it. Or like if I go to Ashley Cook and then I see both dates for Olivia Rodrigo in Oakland, like. But that's enough of like. That's enough of what I got going on. I told myself I need to start saving money. I need to crack the fuck down and start saving money so I can move out. I do have plans to get another tattoo finally after not getting it. I've had this tattoo, this only tattoo since like 2023, I believe. And it is about damn time for me to get another tattoo. I told myself no more dyeing my hair, not until I at least get a second tattoo, because I've had the itch to get a second tattoo for 3 years. And since then, I've had my hair be purple. It was supposed to be an ombre. No, it was supposed to be a balayage. That's the word I was looking for. I was talking about my hair with my friend the other day, and I was like, it wasn't supposed to be an ombre, and I couldn't remember the other word. It was supposed to be a balayage. And so I dyed my hair back in 2024, and I got this tattoo in 2023. But in 2023, that's when I still had my red hair. No, it was 2024. Oh my god. No, that's what it was 2022. So it's been 4 years since I've gotten a tattoo. And since then, I've had red hair and I've had purple hair. And that red hair was left over from when I dyed my hair back in 2021. So I've had my hair 2 colors since getting my first tattoo. And I told myself, no matter how bad the urge just to dye my hair again is, I'm not doing it until I can get another tattoo. I'm not going to tell you what the tattoo idea is, but I may or may not have talked about the idea in the beginning of the video. So yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna officially start talking about the Doomsday trailer. I'm gonna do the same thing I did for Brand New Day. I'm gonna like watch it by myself. I'm gonna have it on mute, but I'm gonna talk about photo frames with you guys. And I have the first photo frame pulled up for you guys, which is very, very good. Spacey by assistant private with the two. Hold on. Okay, so here it is. The trailer. Okay. Hold on. So it says Xavier. No, it says Xavier's. Yeah, Xavier School gifted volun. Why can't I read this? Gifted young. Hold on. Gifted young. Oh, gifted young. Oh, Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Oh my god, why can I not read that? Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Does it actually say youngsters on there? But so we got like 4 different teaser trailers for Doomsday back in like December, January. And now we have the official trailer. And the official trailer pieced together some of the pieces we got before, but a lot of it is brand new information. And I love how we started with the X-Men. We started with Xavier's School for the Gifted. And then that kind of like leads into Brand New Day, which I'm not going to talk about the movie quite yet because it's only been out for like 36 hours in the whole world, more than 48 in select theaters. So I fear it's a little too early for me to like dissect the Spider-Man movie. I say I fear it's a little too early when I might go live again tomorrow on Sunday, or I might go live next weekend. But there's like a hair that's like sitting here, and I don't like that. Okay, I got it. Okay. But this opening shot does connect to Brand New Day, and with the rumors we've seen flying, I'm sure you guys can piece together with what I'm saying. But yeah, so I love this opening shot. I love how it sets up for the X-Men, and that I'm going to press the next scene. I need to mute this and I need to stop sharing my screen because I do not want to get copyrighted because Marvel and Disney are strict. No. No, what did I not do? Did I not? Oh my god, that could have been scary. That could have been scary with you guys hearing the audio. Hold on. Right now, it just showed like sunlight peeking in, and the sunlight is shining on the plaque. And then it moves to the next scene, which is Charles Xavier looking out at the sun. He kind of looks like the guy from Star Trek. I think it's from Star Trek. I've never seen Star Trek, so I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I think it's from Star Trek. And I hope you guys pick up on that reference. I'm going to show you, like, he looks like the guy from Star Trek. Unless it's not, no, it's not Star Trek I'm thinking about. It's, I've never seen the movie, but I've seen clips of it. Lead me to making a pop culture reference, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna wait until the next scene appears. We get it goes to like a back camera where we're seeing Charles Xavier, and he's going like this from the sun, trying to shelter himself from the sun or from the glare that's coming from it. And then we see it fade to black, and we get a shot of Doom. We get a shot of Doom. I was about to be like, who is this? It's Doom. I'm gonna show you guys this. It is Doom! Dr. Doom! Look at this. I was unsure about the crest, like who this could be, but the second I saw the nose, I was like, that's Dr. Doom. That's Dr. Doom. And this is our first official look at his face in Marvel content, because when we saw him in Fantastic Four, we did not see his face. We saw him in a cloak, and he was with Franklin Richards. I'm so sorry for the back and forth, but this is what I'm working with, because I wanted to dissect this trailer frame by frame and discuss it with you, just like I did with Brand New Day. And I feel like this is the best way to go. That way I'm like still like describing like what's going on, but I'm still like pausing and like taking a moment to talk about certain frames of the trailer. And then we get the classic intro to a Marvel movie. It's shorter than normal, but it's still a classic intro. We get a shot of New York City with the new Avengers logo plastered on the Avengers building. And then it leads us into the Fantastic Four meeting the new Avengers, which has Sam, Bucky, and Ant-Man. What is Ant-Man? Scott's name. Scott is his name. I was like, what's Ant-Man's name? It's Scott. I'm using their government names. So that I'm just like, I'm trying to go back on like, so when we got Brave New World, I think that's a new Captain America movie that came out in last year. When we got Brave New World, we saw Sam and Bucky were friends. They were friends. And then when we saw Bucky and Thunderbolts, something happened between those two time frames where they're no longer talking. And so I'm very curious to know, are Sam and Bucky friends again? Because I didn't really love the series Falcon and the Winter Soldier for numerous reasons, but their friendship was a highlight. You know Gandalf? Of course I know Gandalf. I read the book when it was first published. Like, their chemistry was insane. And so I'm very curious to know what their friendship is like in Doomsday. I'm also curious to know what Scott's character is going to be. It's not Scott, is it? Uncle Scott. No, that's is his name Scott? I can't remember what his name is. Oh my god, what is his name? Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, but what is Ant-Man's name? I'm forgetting his government name. Ant-Man government name. Scotland. Okay, so it is Scott. It is Scott. Sorry. I am curious to know what they're going to do with Scott's character because the last time we saw Scott was in Quantumanium. And in Quantumanium, we were setting up for Kang for the Kang Dynasty, where we saw him battling Kang. And at the end of the movie, we saw the setup for the Kang Council. And so I'm very curious to know what Scott has been doing. And he also had paranoia. The end of the third movie, we saw Scott living with his paranoia of like something happening, and then the movie ended. So I'm very curious to know where they're going with Scott's character as well as Sam and Bucky's friendship. And then we get this. Oh, hold on. I have to talk. I have to talk about this frame. I have to talk about this frame. Cause I was gonna be like, oh, we got this overview of like these characters, but like it's too characters for me to like not talk about them. And so I would go full screen, but that would mess with like my live sharing. So this is Thor. Obviously, this is Thor because we see Stormbreaker. And then we have Ant-Man right here. Then we have the Fantastic Four right here. And then we have the new Thunderbolt, the new Avengers right here. This is Ava. This is Yelena. That is the Red Guardian, and that is I never liked him, so I don't remember his name, but he's the failed Captain America. And then that is Sam right here in the new Captain America suit. But yeah, I'm curious to know what what Ava and Scott's relationship is going to be like, because she was a villain in the second Ant-Man movie, and I haven't seen that movie in like a long time. So like I don't really know how they ended with each other, but I'm curious to know how this um interaction is going to go years later. I'm also curious to know what Thor, who was an original Avenger, is going to think of this new Avengers with a Z at the end versus the like new Avengers with Sam and everybody else is going to feel like, because like I said, Thor is an OG Avenger, and so here we have these two new teams. Very curious to know how Thor is going to react to that. And then we have this third team, the Fantastic Four. There's a lot more to be said in this scene, but like I don't know what else to say without like theorizing too much, which like it's not a bad thing to theorize, but like I just don't know. Then we have like a close-up of Thor saying something. And then we get Namor and Shuri. We haven't seen Namor and Shuri since Wakanda Forever came out in... Was it 2023 or was it 20... It had to have been 2023. Wakanda... Oh. The way I was like... I got my tattoo 3 years ago back in 2023. And the way I was like... Wakanda Forever came out in 2023 when it was 2022. It's been 4 years since we've seen Shuri and Namor. And Namor can go jump off a cliff with a bungee cord. Without a bungee cord. Because the queen is no longer with us because Namor killed her. And I'm not okay with that. She lost her husband. She lost her son. She lost everything except for... She was like, I lost everything. Have I not given you enough? And like when I saw that scene, I was like, but your daughter, Shuri. Like Shuri's literally right there. What do you mean you lost everything? What do you mean? Shuri's still alive. Sorry, that literally made me so mad when I saw that scene back in 2022. So mad. I will also say Angela Bassett just deserved an Oscar. Like, not an honorary Oscar. She deserved the damn Oscar. We see the guy who ate the carrot and was like, we're vegetarians or something. Like, M'Baku? Is that his name? I feel like that could be his name, but I don't know if that's his actual name. Then we get a shot of like the Wakanda warriors. We get Shuri suiting up as the Black Panther she is. Then we get Thor landing on this planet. He carrying Stormbreaker. Then we see Cyclops bust through. You guys, we see Cyclops bust through. We see Cyclops bust through. The way, I mean, I could say I never knew he played Cyclops and the prince in Enchanted, because like didn't see X-Men until like years later, until like after um No Way Home came out. So like back in like 2022 or 23 20. Hmm. No, I didn't watch X-Men until 2024, I believe. It was either late 2023 or 2024 is when I first watched X-Men. And so I didn't see James, who's the actor, play Cyclops until then. But I didn't learn, like, even after watching X-Men, I didn't put two and two together that he is the guy who plays I've been dreaming for a true love's kiss. I think it's pounded by those bikes. I had no idea. Same person. The same person also plays a guy in the movie called Hop with like the Easter Bunny. And right? He has to be that guy. James Marsden? Hold on. So sorry, I have to look up like he has to be in Hop. Like I Yeah, so yeah, he was in Hop. Okay, okay. I was like, I've seen memes about him like being in like all these different movies, but yeah. So yeah, I had no idea that they were the same actor until like this year. But we see this shot of Cyclops, and I'm so glad it's James Marsden coming back to play him. I love that they haven't recast the X-Men yet, except for Jean Grey. So I'm very glad to see him. Very glad to see him. And then we see it's Shang-Chi! It's Shang-Chi! Hold on. I have to like I have to pause it and I have to show you Shang-Chi. I People are like, since Endgame, the movies have not been good. And I'm like, did you guys forget that like Endgame wasn't actually the end for the Infinity Saga? Like Far From Home was literally the last movie to come out in the Infinity Saga. Literally the last movie to come out in that saga. And then we have movies like Shang-Chi, we have Thunderbolts, we have Guardians 3, we have Wakanda Forever, we have No Way Home. Like, yes, the good movies are more sparse than they were back in the Infinity Saga, but like the good movies are still there. And Shang-Chi is one of the good movies that are still there. And people are like, oh my god, we haven't seen Shang-Chi since his movie back in 2021. And I'm like, have y'all not seen the What If series or the Marvel Zombie series? I get that they're not canon, but Shang-Chi is still in them, and it still gave us crumbs of like how good he is to a team. And the last time we saw him was a post credit with Katie, Shang-Chi, and Wong. And he had brought Shang-Chi and Katie to this world. And we never got to see where Wong was taking them. Are we ever going to address what was going on at the end of the post credit scene? Or are we just gonna let it fall flat like a lot, like the majority of this multiversal saga has gone? But yes, we see Shang-Chi, we see the 10 rings, and if you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, you'll know who this is. This is Gambit. We got Channing Tatum back for Gambit. He had been campaigning for years to be Gambit. And I'm sad to admit this. I know who just about everybody was when they popped up for Deadpool and Wolverine. Just I knew about who everybody was. I knew who Jennifer Garner was. I knew she was Elektra. I knew X-23 Daphne. I knew who she was. Like I knew that was Johnny Storm and not Captain America. Like I knew who just about everybody was. I did not know who Blade was, and I did not know who Gambit was. I had seen the majority of the Marvel project. I had not seen the Blade franchise, and I have not seen the Incredible Hulk that's outside of the MCU. Because there's one with Edward Norton, and then it got recast with Mark Ruffalo. But there is one more outside of the MCU. Have not seen that one, but I've seen the majority of the Marvel movies. But yeah, did not know who Gambit was, and I did not know who Blade was. So when the audience was freaking out of like who they were, who is that? But yeah, Shang-Chi and Gambit chatting to him. I am so ready for Doomsday to come out. So ready. I hate my hair because there's a strand of hair that keeps popping out and it's really making me mad. Oh my god, it's so cool! The rings are flying. Gambit's throwing his cards. We get a shot of Loki. I need to show you guys a shot of Loki. I need to show you guys a shot of Loki. Y'all, it's Loki. Loki and Happy Hogan are the only characters who have appeared in every single phase of the MCU. And I really, really hope that Jon Favreau comes back either for Doomsday or for Secret Wars. That he comes back and he keeps up his title as him and Tom Hiddleston being the only actors to be in every phase of the MCU. Because Bucky or Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie didn't come until phase 2. Chris Evans is returning and he was in phase 4 with Deadpool and Wolverine, but he was as Johnny Storm. So yes, but he wasn't in he was in phase 5, but he was not in phase 4. Lots of stuff going on. And so yeah, really happy to see Loki again. I really want to see Loki. I want to see the sun shine again for Loki and Thor, because they're always like the sun will rise on us again, brother. And like Thor hasn't met this version of Loki. The last time he saw Loki was sacrificing himself to fight against Thanos in Infinity War, and the Loki we have now is the one that deviated from the path from the first Avengers. Yeah, because it was like Hulk smash, and then Loki was like, I'm a god, you dull creature. I will not be bullied. Hulk smash, and then Hulk's like, no, take stairs. And so he took the stairs, he flung the door open, Loki took the Tesseract, and he took his chance, and he left. So yeah, Thor has not this version of Loki. Then we see a back shot of Shuri walking, and she meets up with the Fantastic Four and with the new Falcon, Danny Ramirez. I can never remember if that's the character's name or if that's the actor's name. I feel like one of them is Danny Ramirez and the other one's Joaquin. I feel like the actor might be Danny and the character might be Joaquin. I'm not sure. But yeah, I have to show you guys like all the team ups that happened in this trailer because it's iconic. So we have Joaquin. I'm gonna call him Joaquin, or I'm gonna call him Danny Ramirez. I don't know. That's Bucky. and then we have Sue, and then we have the Thing, and then we have Shuri, and then this is M'Baku, I think. I cannot remember his name, but it's the guy that eats a carrot and was like, "We're vegetarians." I know that much, and I think this is Ava with the hood. I'm guessing, but I'm very curious to know how this like interaction between the Wakandans, Fantastic Four, and the new Thunderbolts are going to go, as well as Joaquin being there. Then we get Yelena. This is not small potatoes. This is not small potatoes. Look at this. This is my wife. That is my wife. I like, yes, I'm mad that like it took so long for Black Widow to get her movie. I will forever be mad she did not get one before she died. But I don't think Florence Pugh would have been able to play Yelena if they would have done it earlier. And so I'm so glad like this is like we haven't gotten Yelena in 2 projects in 1 year since Hawkeye and Black Widow back in 2021. And I spoiled something. I'm not going to say what I spoiled, but I play Tom Holland at this point. And then we see Reed Richards back there, aka Pedro Pascal. And then we see Captain Sam back there. And then this is Mystique. And we see Mystique transforming into Yelena Belova. And I am so glad that this is the first time we see Mystique. We get to see Mystique go. We get to see 2 Yelenas go head to head. And I'm sure everybody's going to be like, well, which one's a real Yelena? And everybody's going to be like, I'm the real Yelena. And as long as I get to hear her accent, Yelena's accent, I'm good. First, it was mac and cheese she was making. And then it was chili, like, y'all. Oh no, it was not chili. That was Frank. My bad. But the potato and the mac and cheese reference is what I love. I love Yelena so much. And also, we got to see her in Marvel Zombies. I love seeing Yelena and Red Guardian in Marvel Zombies so much. And then we get to see Magneto. They both look old. Charles Xavier and Magneto look old. And like, yes, I get that Sir Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are old, but like I am so glad that they're having those 2 actors come back and reprise their roles. And I don't know if it was Sir Ian McKellen or if it was Patrick Stewart, but one of them said that after this movie they're retiring. And like good for them. Good for them. They deserve to get this well-enough paycheck for playing a role they played since the 2000s started and finishing with it in 2026. Good for them. And then we get a shot of wait, who is that? That has to be that's Scott and Cassie. We're seeing Cassie in this movie. They had Cassie being played by somebody in Endgame, and then they recasted her for that girl who was in Euphoria for Quantumanium, and I think it's that girl from Quantumanium. But we see Scott kissing Cassie's head, and then we get a shot of Johnny hugging Sue. Sue is saying goodbye to Shuri, and Shuri does the Wakanda Forever. And then we get a shot of Sam with the shield. And Gambit busts into scene. We see Cyclops do his blast he does in the teaser trailer we got for the X-Men back in like January. Then we get a shot of Sue, who is screaming, fighting off something. We get a shot of Namor flying. We get a shot of Thor. Hold on. Let me get to that moment. Hold on. No, it went full screen. I am so sorry. Okay. Hold on. I don't know if that full screen messes my live stream, but hold the fuck on. Okay. So that is Thor's axe. That is Stormbreaker. Is that? I don't know what that is. Is it Stormbreaker or is that Mjolnir? Is that Jonathan? Oh, that's Stormbreaker. Okay, that's Stormbreaker. Oh, wait. Please don't copyright me. I swear. I just wanted to show pictures. Hold on. I have to stop sharing because I do not want to get copyrighted. Hold on. I have to get back to that scene I was trying to show you. So this is Mjolnir. No, that's Stormbreaker. Stormbreaker's right here. And these two fingers are enough to stop Thor's Stormbreaker. Is enough to stop Stormbreaker. And we see in Infinity War, Thor pierced Thanos' skin with Stormbreaker. He pierced his skin, and Thanos is supposed to be this inevitable villain that is like almost unkillable. But we see Doom literally stop Thor with two fingers. Two fingers. That's how powerful Doom's is. It fades to black. We see the hammer. We see Mjolnir. We see Jonathan. Chris Evans. Chris Hemsworth is carrying Mjolnir. And then we see a shot of Thor staring off. And then lo and behold, we see none other than Steve Rogers, not Captain America. We see Steve Rogers. I have always questioned how the TVA never got involved when Steve Rogers went back in time. You're telling me the second that Loki deviated from the timeline, y'all went after him. But when Steve Rogers stays back in the 50s with his great love Peggy Carter, nothing happens. There's no repercussions to his actions. Like, he should have known better. He literally left Bucky for some girl he kissed once. For a girl he later got with her niece. I love you, Captain America. I love you, Steve Rogers. That is America's ass right there. But I will never not understand how the TVA never went after him. Never. And I really hope that that Endgame, the re-release of Endgame, explains why they never went after Steve Rogers. I should also mention, I feel like it's Steve Rogers coming back because, like, I was like that he deviated from the timeline. And he had a baby, as we saw in the teaser trailer that came out earlier this year, late last year. And so we also have a new Captain America. We have Sam holding the shield. I need to know how it is still Steve Rogers and how he did not get captured by the TVA. Is that why Loki's here? Because Loki, like, I guess I know Loki's the holder of time now, but, like, is that why Loki's here? Is Loki here to catch Steve Rogers' ass? Oh, I should also still mention that, like, him holding Mjolnir proves that Steve Rogers is still worthy. But then there's theories where Anthony Mackie said that, take note that this is not Captain America. This is Steve Rogers. In the comics, there's literally Steve Rogers as Nomad. And but then people are arguing that like didn't Nomad isn't Nomad who Steve Rogers became like in Endgame? So like who would this version of Steve Rogers be? But yeah, take note that this is Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is still worthy of holding the hammer, and we just have to see where it goes from here. And then we get the Green Avengers logo. We get the logo. So excited. And then when I saw this on Instagram, he gave us a countdown. And like a countdown. Oh, it's still giving us the countdown on here. And that's the end of the trailer. That's the end of the trailer, you guys. Oh my god. I feel like there was so much to talk about and so much to fangirl about. I would have loved to like given more thought about this trailer after having seen Brand New Day. But since Brand New Day, like I said, it's only been in theaters for like 36 hours, like globally. I don't want to give like too much away about the movie yet, but yeah. I can't wait until I allow myself to discuss Brand New Day on here. But I love reacting to trailers with you. I cannot wait till Doomsday comes out. I'm sure I will talk about Brand New Day. I will talk about the Endgame re-release when it drops, and I'll talk about Doomsday. White Vision also comes out this year. I'll talk about that. It's the final chapter in the Wanda trilogy. There's also I need to still compare Rapunzel and Frozen, Anna and Elsa, see which movie's better. I need to talk about Winx Club still. There's like a whole list of movies of videos I need to do. I still haven't released my Opalite reaction. Whoopsies. And yeah, there's still lots to come. There's still lots to come. I'm still riding off this high of Brand New Day, and I will see you guys in my next video, which shall be the Brand New Day discussion. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you see it before my next video. If you like this type of content, I reacted to the Brand New Day trailer. I can link it in the description down below. If you like this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button because there's more Marvel videos to come. If you really like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and come back for more videos. Comment down below what was a moment that left you with your jaw hanging on the floor watching the Doomsday trailer. And I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. But I don't think there is. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!